Hello and welcome back, connoisseurs of Crusader Kings, friends of the channel, and newcomers alike. We are here once again with King Ordgar the Good of Cornwall, Wales, and soon to be England, which we may rename when it is briefly in our possession. I've been doing a lot of work trying to figure out how I can do the least amount of BS chicanery in order to make our succession take place properly, and I think I have found the path. Yes, I think I've found the path. We will see. It requires me to live long enough to usurp the title of the King of England, but it should be fine. So we're going to move forward, assuming that this is going to work. And if it doesn't work, we're going to be in trouble. We're going to be in trouble. So the solution is something I discovered while testing. And it was because I was trying to grant out titles to see what would happen in different scenarios. I gave my kid this title here, and it didn't give him this domain. And I realized that it's because he holds this. Because he's unentitled, because the King of Wales that I grant the title to is unentitled to this little piece of land right here. He doesn't get this duchy. Now we can fix that. I probably will fix it closer to my death. I can strip this poor kid of this title, which will then make him go over, as he's supposed to the Kingdom of Wales. But that means that I can keep Kent. Because if I grant Duchess Helga Somerset, she will stay in Cornwall when England is inherited, which saves me a whole bunch of work, and it also saves me de-achievementizing my save by having to switch to my son to do some of the stuff, which this is just so much better. I did say I was going to do all this off screen, and that's still going to happen, but I did think I would show you the one bit of chicanery that is required still. Yes, we're going to do a little bit of shifty stuff here. We see I have two happily married people here, and they do not want to get divorced at all. But I can't give him anything because I can't grant him titles, but I want him to be able to start managing his territory, and that just sucked. So we're going to take advantage of some things that I don't know if they're bugs, per se. This could be considered a slight exploit, or a strong exploit, depending on your opinion, and I do apologize to anybody who doesn't like that kind of stuff, but I think that the whole idea I can't grant a title to my son when he isn't in my territory is literally absurd. I should be able to send him a letter that tells him to come home for a week, and then grant him his territory, but I can't because he won't even visit when he lives with his wife, which is just annoying, and it's a thing I've always hated. So we're just going to use a little bit of, we're going to do exactly that, but the letter is going to be, please come home for a short visit, son. But it's going to come in the form of a divorce, because it's the only thing the game will let us do to make this happen. Now, a bunch of things are going to happen here. We want to end up in the status quo, so we got to divorce them, which is fine, and then we need to run it until the divorce goes through. Gosling comes of age. Part of the reason why I wanted to do this on screen is because Gosling comes of age right after I unpause, so I wanted this to be here. First, I'll share in the moment where he gets his level 3 education, putting him up to 14, which is fine. He'll do well, I think. Once he picks a specialization, he'll get easily to nearly 20, and 17, that's fine. It's fine. The good thing about learning is that it's very, very self-impactful. You get a lot of learning points, especially if you take up Scholar, which hopefully he'll do later in life. All right, the marriage has taken place. We want to make sure this is on pause because it's essential that we do this without unpausing. Right now, she is in a specific and useful state. She still has an alliance with me, which means that she is not getting the penalty to marry someone in my court due to me having too many alliances. That is essential. If we look at this right now, she is still green, but barely, for remarrying him. If I unpause and it realizes that she doesn't have an alliance with me, that will go red, because she will immediately go, oh, you have too many alliances. I don't want to marry someone from your house. I have like 50 million alliances. And that will ruin everything, because we want the state to remain the same. The whole point of this is we want to be able to grant him a title out changing the state. So we invite him to court using a hook. Why? Because hooks make someone move instantly. If you don't use a hook, they take some time. They kind of like stroll over a little while, and during that time, she would realize she doesn't want to marry into my court. She wants to just ignore us. we're going to grant him this one title right here, because that will make him part of my domain and allow me to give him more titles afterwards. Now that he has the title granted and we have not unpaused, she still does not realize we don't have an alliance anymore. Because she does not realize we don't have an alliance anymore, this marriage is still green for her. And I guarantee you it definitely goes red. I did test it the other way before deciding to do this, so that's just a thing. So now what we have done is we have granted him a title. She realizes that we don't have an alliance anymore right after we unpause, like so fast because it's on one, like immediately. And then we form an alliance again because we're remarried and everything's fine. It's like it didn't happen. I was going to not show you that. I was going to just include that as the part of the things that I did, but then I realized anybody who really knows how this game works would probably think I did something weird, like save edited or something to make that happen, so I thought I would demonstrate that in spite of the fact it is just a tiny bit exploitative, it is possible to temporarily move someone to your court who's married through a divorce, and then send them back and remarry them before the divorced person realizes that they're mad about the divorce. The only real penalty is she likes me 25 less because I forced her divorce. But, you know, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Like I said, the whole rest of this I'm going to do off camera. You don't need to see me hand these out. I'm going to tend towards handing them out towards people that actually exist for the same reason I did last time. Because if I let them randomize, they're going to give me like old ladies and old men, and I'm going to have to do it over again. I'd prefer to pick people who'll stay there for a while. We're going to primarily be putting Lioness people up here because the idea is hopefully this will change to Lioness over time as they convert it. I'm also going to give him at least one piece of land in all 3 of the duchies up here because I want him to hold all the duchy titles before I make him King of England and force him to be and let him be independent. I will be pushing him out before I die just to make sure that the whole Kent stays in if I grant the title, because I'm not giving him a piece of my territory thing. I don't know if that works on inheritance. I do know for sure it works on granted titles, so I'll be right back. And that this will be repaired and we'll never have to worry about it again. Okay, so I have granted titles. I've given up no knights in doing it. I've granted all these out to men who are of an age where if they get married now, they'll definitely probably have kids. None of them were in my control, so I couldn't force them to marry. Hopefully they marry, but we're in a better shot here than we would be if it was old women and old men. I am holding Lindsay and East Riding myself. Those will go to him when he's granted the title. I have the room to hold them myself, and doing so means that they'll go to him and he can decide what to do with them. But don't force him to take the domain penalty now, which he can't take because I've given him 5 out of 5. If you can see, I've given him 5 out of 5 that gives him all 3 duchy capitals. So if we get enough money before we have to send him away to get the 3 duchies, we will definitely grant those to him. That will make his little England better. I gave the little piece of territory down here to East... This is East Sex, right? East Anglia. This is East Sex. Right, so he'll get this. He'll also get this. We might do something about that, though. I don't know. Depending on how things turn out with England, I could make whoever's in charge of here good old Ethelwulf's overseer. Like, I could grant them this as they're part of their territory, and I think it'll have the same effect of keeping them in, but I have not tested that, so I'd have to test it before I'd be willing to do it. I want him to become the King of England before I take over Mercia, because I want Mercia to stay. We haven't decided exactly yet what we're going to do about Mercia, but as you can tell, there's going to be no more England. Look at us. Look at this thing. England is like a cancer in the heart of Grand Cornwall, right? It's just, it is. It is. So that can't stay. And eventually, I'm going to have to do some treachery on this poor kid. Tyranny, probably the only tyranny that this character is going to do through his entire run, and that'll be stripping him of this domain, because I just do not see myself of denying my son all of his de jure territory just because this kid's father happened to hold a piece of territory that he really shouldn't. I mean, he should, he earned it, but that's just what we're gonna have to do. We will grant her Somerset literally just before we flip over. There's no reason to give it to her now. We have some money. We only had to remove one of the buildings. Let's make an alliance with our son here. We got a lot of alliances now, which could become problematic because there's going to be a lot of people asking us for help. And yeah, we've done it. We've done it. We have a strong domain and a method in mind to allow our son to inherit the Kingdom of England, which we're going to change the name of. I haven't decided. It's either going to be Northern Cornwall, which was a cute suggestion, or it's going to be Northumbria, just restoring the original Kingdom of Northumbria. I gotta admit, my heart likes the cheese of North Cornwall more, but I like the historical reference of Northumbria, I think, is what we're going to actually do in game, but we haven't decided. We haven't decided yet. Put ourselves back on 3, and let's start running the game and actually playing for real. What are we doing? Well, we're gonna have to get used to the new status quo. For one thing, our armies need to get back up to their full height. We should be investing in more military, because military investments are a great way to make sure that our son down here is strong. But to be honest, he's probably gonna end up with Mercia, because I can't figure out a way. It depends. If we take Mercia through vassalization, which is highly likely once we're the King of England, even after we give up the King of England, to be honest, if we take it through vassalization, we won't be able to give it to Wales, because the duchy title will be still held by whoever holds it at the time. It's all going to depend on how that turns out, and we don't know how that is, so we'll worry about that at the time. All we know for now is that things are pretty well set up for the right outcome to happen. The only thing we still have to do is give Somerset to Helga, and giving Somerset to Helga means nothing, literally nothing. It's just an extra domain we picked up to connect these together, and it is also just going to come back to us. So, okay. Some faction has been created. Yeah, that's not surprising. It's not surprising. Let's see what we can do with our... Oh, come in. And money. Well, what a generous gift. Thank you. Thank you very much, Countess Sinild. I think you're East Sex. Don't know you well, but thank you anyway. What was I saying? Oh yeah, my council. Council. Court grandeur is now at 9, but I think that's going down instead of going up. Coveted claim. I don't want to become rivals with this guy if I can avoid it. I'm gonna take the coin flip. All right, we're rivals now. That's great. We're just gonna put our sway on him to try to end that rivalry, because we don't like rivals and we don't want them. Oh, I don't know how much he's gonna need. I guess he's gonna travel a lot when he's older, right? I mean, he's not gonna stay in our domain forever. Okay, well, that's a thing that happened. Let's see. First, we want to start integrating Kent, so we never have to worry about this problem again. Yeah, it's 56 years, but it's fine. He might get some pluses or minuses to it. It'll happen. It'll happen in the next generation for sure, which I think is pretty good. What else do we want to do? She can stay what she's doing. We finished those levy grounds, which is good. I want to start converting the few places we have that are Astaru. Hopefully our son helps us out with that. This is all good. We should be control. Okay, we'll do that. That'll definitely make a difference. Okay, yeah. So it's time to do some, like, internal development. We built this city, which I think is cool. We wanted to build a city there for a while. I mean, I did. I never said it, but I did. And we want to grow everything that's going to stay in our control as much as we possibly can, which means we're not going to be doing anything here in Somerset. I mean, maybe later. Okay. You need a new worthy successor. Is this on cooldown? It is not. So we'll get you a worthy successor. Also, just quickly, I know I'm doing it over and over again, but this is so important, because this saves so many lives in war if you just forbid all these fools that think they should be warriors even though they're not good enough. There should be like a default game rule for this or something. I mean, maybe not like a game rule, but something I can click that says no one under 12, please. So I need 2 more. This is... We'll get 1 from this, but he might be an 8. Well, we'll see how it turns out. We'll see how it turns out. And I want to just grow something. I think all this stuff is done. Let's work up here in... we want the economy building first, though. Okay, learning lifestyle increase. We've finally got scholar. That means we are going to switch over to here. That's actually a good question. There are other things we could do first. Is there anything I really want anywhere else? We could stay here a little bit longer. I don't want to go whole of body again. I don't want him to live forever. I want him to die at a reasonable age. But if we go down here, there are some things we could do that could make things a little bit better for us, like in the short term. No, we said we were going to do it. We're going to do it. We're going to stick with our guns. We said we'd get off it right away, so we're going to become a better diplomat as per the plan, and then we're going to go down a family hierarch, pick up a friend to help us solve some of our, to help us like increase our relationships with the family. We have thresholded this. That puts us at 17. I think we're now equivalent to Paris. We haven't really looked at this. I look at this sometimes off screen, but we never really looked at it on screen. So if we come down here, we have Paris is 17, so we are now on par with Paris, and getting stronger and stronger at pushing outwards. It's going really well, honestly. Not hosting a grand tournament, no thank you. What just happened up here? Oh, we just got the successor, right? That's what happened? So, good. What? I gained another new knight. Is he bad? I have... yeah, it's this guy. He must have just come of age. Oh, I've got lots of people down here that are not forbidden. I thought I did this already. Did we lose somebody? We must have lost somebody. Well, as soon as this is available. In fact, we're going to put this up so we know when it's available, so we can just fix that as soon as possible. I'm also going to increase the longbowmen, pushing us closer to that 7 there. A lot of things that this guy wanted to do in his life, but most of them turned out a lot different than he was expecting. I'll say that. Okay, so this is a good event that gives me an additional plus 15 towards the de jure integration, but at the cost of a small amount of development nearby. I think we're going to do this. This is going to take forever, even with big... Those jumps help. They do help. That cut 4 years off the process. If we had a better guy in charge, I think that would be good. We don't. We're not doing this. In fact, we're just going to turn the Grand Tour off. And she wants us to go to war to help defend her territory. This is the wife of my son. I think we're going to... In fact, it's a tyranny war. Okay? So let's just do what we did last time. Well, we'll check out the actual strength of the armies here. Yeah, he's pretty weak. So we're going to just move our flag to here. And we're going to just raise our men-at-arms. And we're going to cross over. Hopefully she's wise enough to not get herself killed, but that's okay even if she does. We got this. We got this. We'll save you. We're doing it. We're doing it. We got ya. Backup is on the way. Lots of people are getting our traits. He's been swayed for the first time. We'll continue our efforts on him. Hopefully we can convince him to stop being our rival, because it's basically a waste. That rivalry is a waste of time. Nobody's getting anything out of that. If he catches her that far in, we won't be able to stop him from defeating her armies. It's not great. Oh, she learned Anglic, and we are now friends. Wonderful. You're a person who lately has been thinking a lot about making friends. Let's just go up and get his capital right away, because we have a direct line to it. If he ends up killing her army, it won't matter, I don't think. He is turned back. I think that's a smart move on his part. Who's this guy? Oh. Why did he join our court? So demand his conversion. And he is now a knight. Wants us to invite knights, but I actually don't think we need to. We will leave it up there to remind ourselves. The Pope has granted us more money, which we definitely could use. Will that be enough to usurp England? Not quite, but I think we're going to stop spending for now, and we're going to just let the money tick up till we can usurp England. It's not going to tick up right now, but it will after the battle, and we don't want to spend ourselves too far down. So we'll just hold for now. Let's speed this this siege up. What? Ugh. Really? Really, buds? You couldn't have picked England or something? I mean, we're gonna have to banish them. That's obvious, but we are gonna also have to turn this back down. We're gonna need to invite all of our allies because they're gonna have to basically run this war while we can't. And then Leon, you know, having so much, I won't bother to invite her because she's in a bit of a pinch right now, but we'll invite him. Let's invite, no, he's not doing well either. We'll get Leon though, you know, you can come in, bud. You can come in. And should we grab Brittany too? We're just starting to finally make some uptick on that, so I don't think we're gonna invite Brittany. I'm gonna see what we can do. I don't want to raise the levies by themselves. That's a thing, right? If I can find a good, like if one of the once the allies are here, I'll raise the levies. What is this actually for? Like, what does he think he's gonna take from me? This? Are you kidding me? What are you thinking, dude? Is this not gonna be a thing? If my main army was not over here doing a siege, I would bet money that we could beat this easily. But it is, because all these things always happen at once, you know? Send the, just like last time, we're gonna send the group here down. Excellent. Just to get this dead. Okay, that's what's happening here. Sort of hoping my allies can join quickly. They are joining pretty quickly. I think we're gonna join up with this army. That should give us the basic protection that makes raising the levies alone worth it. So we're gonna raise all of our guys up here. We're gonna wait and hopefully that guy's not going to join us, but hopefully the Denmark will join us up in the north here, and that should make things happen a little faster. I don't know if I called him to the wrong battle. It feels like I might have called him to the wrong battle. We've seized an artifact, taken a prisoner. This war needs to be done fast. I need some kind of military support up here, guys. Just sort of anybody would be nice. Still got a long time on these sieges. These sieges are happening. They're basically taking forever. It's not really unexpected. Do we have any allies coming in the south yet? No, everybody's probably just hitting the water. All right, you know, I'm actually going to join up now. Should bring Lotharingia with me. We don't need the siegers. They can do what they're doing here. Hopefully that's okay. This guy is a master. He wants to make something wondrous. Do I want to spend money on this? I mean, I am trying to usurp England. Not while I'm trying to usurp England. That's not a good idea. So hopefully she's smart enough to support my siegers so that this doesn't bite me in the butt. Sending my main force away. Hopefully. Hopefully. Are you coming? Are you gonna fight a war you're not even part of for no reason at all? Is that how this is gonna turn out? Because if that's how this is gonna turn out, you're gonna make me really unhappy. She's gonna lose important war score here for no reason. It is kind of annoying how this like creates a situation where they get confused, right? Like, my allies are not part of that war, but they're not sure because I have military guys down here, so they're not sure whether they should stay or go, right? That could be a little bit difficult. It could be a little bit frustrating. If she'd actually supported me, we would have won this war right now, and she didn't, so that's gonna be the end of what I can give to her. Like, that's it. I'm done. I can't help her anymore. This is just doesn't allow for that. So we are going to defeat them. And the rest of our allies are going to come in because this is a great northern war. As soon as they're defeated, the war will immediately end. I don't want to send my guys back. I don't want to. At all. If she hadn't wandered around in a silly way, we would have won this because she could have stood on top of me and that would have protected her army. But apparently that's not how we do things around here. From my throne I hear the visceral cries of my daughter, Perienne, and the sound of a struggle. Promptly bolting up and racing down the hallway, I skid to a stop and see my friend Iseult restraining the poor lass with one arm, awkwardly clutching a book with the other. I barely have time to bark and demand for an explanation when both begin blurting out their version of events. Perienne refuses to allow me to read her my masterpiece on the art of learning. I've heard this dreary book 1,000 times. It's so boring. I'd rather become friends with my daughter than support the tutor, to be honest. So that's a thing that happened. I trust the child. If she says you've been reading it too much, try something different. So yeah, I think that she's literally lost herself this war right on the brink of victory because of trying to fight a battle she didn't need to fight. And now we're done. Like, we're actually literally done. I got nothing. I don't want to spend more money to send more troops over here. I don't want to do that at all. It's very much not exciting to me. I would prefer to, if anything, disband these guys. But we gotta fight it out. If we can join up with her, we'll actually be able to win it. It's so rare to find a true friend. So we are now friends with this guy. Who's this? Oh, that's him, the guy up there. And he's as a kid. Good job. And you were the oldest one, so the one I was most worried about. You're married now? You're not married for some reason. Your brother is married, though, and he's got some kids, so what you doing, buds? We need you to get the married up here a little bit, maybe? Things are turning out pretty good up there, though, I will say. What about Leofeth? Has he had a male heir? He has. He has a handsome young boy in his court now. Good on him. So I think... Nope. I don't know why I imagined that. Was it... Maybe I was thinking of you. Oh yeah, he has a son. He has had a son for a while. His first boy was a son. Did I point that out? I hope I did, but if I didn't, I'm doing it now. Look at this bossy kid. He'd be an excellent steward. But I think if we can do it, we find him a... I mean, if I make him a steward, I can do it myself. If I make him a steward, I can do it myself. If I make him a warrior, I gotta find somebody. There's this guy. Ithelwold. He will draw him to my court, and he is Lioness, which means he is a naturally good tutor. I also still have my court tutor, who is very experienced and very talented. This is probably good for him. He's currently under his mother, who is terrible at this education type. Also, the one child I did myself didn't get that great an education. He only got a 3. I think that's the right thing to do there. We'll look at the other boys' sons later. If we meet up, we might stand a chance of winning this fight. If we can win this fight, we can probably win the war. I don't want to go back to sea. What are you doing? What are you doing? He's probably going to try to attack me once I get close to him, which is going to just be the worst. Or he's going to finish the siege out, which is just as bad. Like, it's going to take us away from the being close to victory. So she is turning out to be chaste. It's chaste or lustful. If we give her lustful, it's better for intrigue. If we give her chaste, it's better for learning. And it's pious. Let's do chaste. It seems to fit her personality better, I would say. This damn war. At least we're making money. How's England doing? How you doing, England? You're winning your war against that guy. Okay, well, good on ya. It's not going to do much for your future, though. Your future is my future. And we are now friends with our daughter from being her educator. We did a good job, I think. Pretty great. Yeah, he's gonna do this. Should I do this? I don't wanna. I also don't want to be in this war forever, because all the wars forever is just like not a thing we like. So, raise all our men at arms. We're gonna fix this for you. Thank us later. Challenge for artifact? No, I'm not challenging. No. Like, was there a new artifact? Did that happen? A book or something? Ah, a pilgrim's guide. A pilgrim's guide. We stole a pilgrim's guide from that kid. We already have one of those. We don't really need two. I don't know why I fixed that. What kind of war is she in? This is a populist uprising. We'll accept. And we'll probably send this army over to help her after we clear this mess up down here. And just when you're starting to think you're getting ahead, we're definitely going to our son's hunt up in the north. We're going to switch the captains for mercenaries, because that'll help us get there safe, I think. There is no safe path. There is no safe path. Let's customize our route here. Okay, so this is the route we picked. We're going to have one swamp adventure. There's nothing we can really do about that. We did the best we could. I tried the ocean, but it was too long, so let's just customize this route. No, let's just click it and go for the hunt. Hunt a fresh start. I can't wait. She's probably going to win her war up there before I even get to it, because it's just an uprising. Oh, color me intrigued. A chance to get Gardener. 50%. Yes, we are a Gardener now. What does Gardener give you? Gardener gives you 2 stewardship, some stress gain loss, and some courtier and guest opinion. Well, that's really good. That's money mostly. And now that we're a Gardener, I think we're going to end this episode right now. It's almost 40 minutes and I don't want to go over it. This war is not going to... Wait, why is this guy trying to betroth my daughter right while I'm doing my outro? Who is he? Hey, this is the idiot who divorced my other daughter, isn't it? Yeah, it is. No, you can't marry my daughter. Wait, isn't she supposed to be married to Lotharingia? What the heck? So anyway, we're going to end now. This war's basically over and I don't want to hold this episode... Oh, who is this? I really didn't want to hold this episode over, but we need to investigate who this is. So this is Queen Bertha. She is a sister of the dead guy. And we'll just look up here. And the kid was murdered. Well, on that turn of events, I think we're going to put an end to this episode. Goodbye for now, and I will see you in the next one where we finish this war up here and hopefully help deal with Alba finally. Bye for now.